welcome to my channel. I'm Sarah. I've got an oracle reading for you here today. It is open, general, timeless, yada yada yada. I might crack out some tarot cards to clarify, which isn't something I usually do in online readings. But if I do, I'll be using this beautiful Aquarian tarot, which I've not used for a long time. So I'm just gonna crack on. Just gonna get into it. So as I was shuffling the cards, I've made notes if you ever wonder why I'm kind of occasionally glancing down here. So I got the phrase coming together. I got a song that's a kind of lovers rock reggae tune from the 70s, 80s called Touch Me Baby. Reaching out for your love, do touch me baby, babe. Somebody's singing about how they want someone to touch them and how all of their life they've starved for love, but behind their masquerade they're hiding from the one they truly love. It's something like that. I'll try and link the song so you can listen if you fancy. I mean, it's a tune as well. Won't you touch me baby, babe? But right, so I got that song, the phrase coming together, and the word affectation, right? So that is defined as a studied display of real or pretended feeling. So a facade, a front, a masquerade, that kind of thing, right? So the main cards in the spread are describing a moment where two individuals come together. The decks that I have used are very colourful and very detailed with the imagery, and on some of them there's quite a lot of text. So there's a lot of information. So Eagle is here to tell me. It's here with Weirdheimer. Eagle is saying, yes, there is this bigger picture, this much bigger web, right? Many connecting points, a lot, everything. There's a much bigger picture. But like an eagle can soar in the sky and have that huge expansive perspective, they are also able to hone in on small details when they need to, without losing sight of that bigger picture. So what Eagle is kind of saying to me here is that although there is all that information, there are specific bits of it that are pertinent to this message, because there you go. So here's a little confirmation for me of, yes, there's a bigger picture, but just focus in, because it's discussing a moment, a particular happening. But this Weirdheimer is a vibration that underscores all of this. This vibe is underscoring everything that I'm going to discuss. Binding all runes, singing all songs. Reaching out for your love, won't you touch me, baby? Righting all wrongs. The vibration underscoring everything. Weird is here. Weird is here. Weird is love. Weird is magic. Weird is everything, gorgeous. Come back to that. So there are two individuals, and they are coming together in a moment. They're coming together in a moment. One of these individuals is represented by this Tree of Life card and this Lightning card. Okay. The other individual is represented by this Upper World and this Earth card. Do you know what I mean? There is a similarity between these two. They're incredibly, incredibly similar. And the blue is important, and these are kind of telling me that about like a physical body, is saying like two actual people, and this energy, this blue energy that they both are in or they hold. Yeah. So, Tree of Life Lightning, this person. So this is talking about somebody who is symbiotic with the environment in which they are placed in this particular moment. So yeah, they are in an environment that I want to say is theirs, or that they're very familiar with. They're very kind of rooted in it, connected to it. It's kind of their place, right? It's their place. They belong there to some extent. So I think this other one is coming into it, right? If they're sort of in situ in a place, somebody, this other one is coming into that place. And when this other one comes into their place, they have an effect. This one, this person is very affected by that. It's all the butterflies. It's like there's a giddiness, or kind of maybe like a flutter, like butterflies in the stomach, in quite a powerful way. There's a figure in this card. You can kind of make him out, and they've got all this kind of power in the belly, which with the butterflies was communicating to me. It's like butterflies, like there's this sensation, this very kind of powerful sensation within them when this other one enters into their space. So it's like they are very affected by the entry of this one. But when I sat with this card, had a little meditation, it was very quiet in that it wasn't really giving me any it wasn't showing me much. So that was the message. It's like there's all this kind of dynamic, kind of fluttery excitement, or sensations sort of moving through their being, like surrounding them, like, but it's like they're not giving that away. There's almost being very, like, playing it cool, the blue, like playing it cool, but actually being really kind of heated heated up, really energized, but playing it really cool. So then we've got this one who looks quite serious. Very serious looking, well, a reasonably serious looking face. But they've got very penetrating eyes, I think like blue eyes. And this looks to me like an eye because of some of the detailing. It looks like a pupil and an iris, like a kind of blue eye. Perhaps they've got blue eyes. But it's that idea of like a penetrating glare, like blue eyes, like bright blue eyes, can be very penetrating, can't they? Very noticeable. So this one is very affected. Butterflies in the tummy, very affected in a big powerful way by the entrance of this one, but they're kind of rooting down, holding it down. I think they're playing it cool, right? They're playing it cool. They're not giving much away about that. So that's kind of the that's the affectation, that's kind of the masquerade in a sense. They're playing it cool, but actually there's a lot going on. they're not giving it away. So this one is, I think, kind of looking at them. I think there's something here about like seeing through the pretense. Because even if, like, in a meeting with two people, I don't know, actually, there's some kind of seeing through the pretense. But this one seems to kind of be playing it cool as well. It's like neither of them are giving anything away. It's like they're meeting in this particular moment, and there's a lot going on, but they're not. It's like they're not giving anything away. But they've both got this kind of higher perspective. It's like they both hold this kind of higher perspective, or this higher knowledge, higher vibration, this higher thing. They've both got it. I mean, the blue could mean different things. It could be a very personal colour to you, and you have your own associations. Take it as it resonates, take it as you will, yeah. But there is this sort of very striking similarity between them that is there. But this one seems to kind of be playing it cool as well, or just be quite serious. There's quite a serious. So maybe the situation in which they're meeting is a formal one. Maybe it's, I don't know, because I got this horse move rune card out. And this is confirming the idea of two individuals meeting, right? It says eye to eye, nose to nose. Lose yourself in the frequency of other. Moving forwards with confidence or caution depends upon your heightened senses. Right, okay, so your heightened senses. That's what they've both got. So both of them in this meeting have got like heightened senses. Yeah. They've both got this incredibly, it's like they're very kind of charged or switched on to each other, is what I want to say. But they're not giving that away. It's like they're very attuned to each other. There's all kinds of maybe like electrical signals popping off in their bodies, but they're both kind of holding it down and not giving any indication of that, I want to say. But also with this, so horse, there's something here about the 5th house, right? There's something quite sort of fun. No, not fun. What is it? That idea of self-expression, right? Because I think this is about how two people maybe don't express certain things, like the lack of expressing something, or the obscuring it, the kind of hiding the happiness or hiding the kind of joy, whatever that kind of is. So maybe it's like it's two people who have a tendency to just like play it cool. Right, but they when they meet each other, they've got this really kind of heightened sense thing going on. They maybe have that anyway, but when they come together, it's a lot in the same space, yeah. So we got this serpent card. So this is what it is a little bit cheeky, right? Because this the serpent. So when I pulled this card, it had me think about the world serpent. I was reading about world serpent, which is in voodoo, it's about masculine and feminine principles coming together, yeah. Two serpents coming together, the world serpent. That is what I thought of here. So it was confirming that idea of the coming together of two people. But then it also started to get this message, because you know, like the serpent in the tree in the biblical story. So it's the idea of kind of temptation, but not in a not in that biblical way, but it's like the shedding of the skin as well. It was kind of coming through. It's like, this is a person, and this foliage was coming through as like their head, and the serpent being kind of what's in their head, what's on their mind. It's a bit of love and fun, and it was coming through with this cheeky kind of almost like oh, they're thinking about removing layers, baby. They're thinking about kind of, you know, removing layers of clothing. So it's this I think that's what they're trying maybe to hold down into, because it might not be appropriate, right? It might just not be appropriate to have that show. So they've got all this kind of like, no. Yeah. But I'm just gonna kind of not gonna give that. It's like kind of having some cheeky kind of naughty things on their mind upon meeting this other one. But they are kind of, maybe it's really heightened. Maybe that's what the heightened sense. God, so it could be something very simple, like meeting somebody, two people meeting, in whatever kind of situation that is, and one of them is that, whoo, gets butterflies in the tummy, all this kind of sensations. It could be that they really find this other one attractive, but they are not giving that away. They are not. And they are having these kind of naughty kind of thoughts about removing clothes and things like that. But they're holding it down, they're not giving it away. But it's all quite heightened. It's like they're really feeling it. Do you know what I mean? They're really feeling it in a powerful way. And then it's like this one can kind of see that, or they can just see something. But because of all the blue, I mean, maybe they are as well. Maybe they're like, fuck. But they're kind of, maybe they can feel it. Because of the web, right? The web of weirds, the web of connectivity, and the idea of like tree roots and mycorrhizal networks, everything being connected. It's like maybe part of the heightened sense thing for this one is that even though this one isn't giving much away, they can feel it. They can feel the vibe, yeah. Is that, you know, they can't read their mind. They don't sort of, they can't read the kind of cheeky, sort of sexual kind of thought. But they can sense it. That's what I mean by see. It's like that kind of sight, yeah. Because I think this one is really kind of putting up a good front. It's like, oh no, this one can kind of see. But then this helm of awe wheel shield came out, right? Ægishljalmur. Excuse me. Right, but this was talking about a smoke screen to surround and shield us, everyday fears drawn back. The pretense will fall away. There's something, the pretense falls away. The smoke shield is kind of that idea of the affectation, the putting up a front. But there's something, it's just sort of saying that front's going to fall away. That front will fall away. It's talking about confidence, right? And this was talking about confidence as well. This is, right, so this card we're saying moving forwards with confidence or caution depends upon your heightened senses. The best shield is coasting in your own confidence with this one, right? Okay, so I think it's like it's two individuals who are meeting in a particular moment. I think one is entering into another one's space, whatever space that might be. And there is a very sort of powerful thing going on when that happens for one of them, right? Some kind of naughty thoughts. They're very switched on, they're very turned on in whatever way, right? They're just very turned on. There's a very kind of heightened energy within them, as there is for this one as well, I want to say. This idea of like heightened. But they're both also kind of holding it down, not like they're both playing it cool, right? So if there's, as I said, like lots of stuff popping off for them both, they're not giving any indication of that. But I think it's kind of saying I've written here with this as well, like being in awe of somebody but pretending not to be. Right? It's kind of, it's just like being really kind of taken with somebody but just not giving any indication that that is the case. But the pretense will fall away. Because I think there's a lot of power in this connection, so the pretense is going to just kind of fall away. Excuse me, I must have some tea. I mean, to be fair, I don't know if that can really be held back. You know? I mean, obviously it can be because they're doing it, but I think it's really only a matter of time before the power of that kind of bursts forth. So all this kind of because there is with this web of weird as well, right? So the Anglo-Saxon concept of weird is like a web of connectivity, and if something happens at one point in the web, it has an effect on something else, right? Everything is connected. And the idea about mycorrhizal kind of things, everything is connected, they're symbiotic, they work together, it just, you know, you get what I mean. So it might sort of be something like if one pretends that they're not affected, then the other one picks up on that and is like, oh, I'm not affected either. Right? But the bottom line is that they are affecting each other. The two individuals, upon meeting, are affecting each other. There's this real heightened sense thing going on, but they are pretending, I think both of them, pretending that there isn't. But it's kind of, this card was the underlying, and it's talking about like a portal, and there's this tree again, right? dreams need current action. Dreams need action, right? If these two, blue and the blue, there's some kind of shared dream, they are each other's dream, there's some, it's saying like there needs to be some kind of action around that to kind of hide something quite powerful and quite potent behind a pretense of there isn't anything powerful and potent there, isn't going to make a dream come true or get you any closer. If you just kind of pretend that you don't like somebody, it's like that thing at school, isn't it? It's school. You could really, really fancy somebody a lot, but then you would just pretend you didn't like them, or you would just absolutely, completely avoid them because, right? But the problem with doing that is that you just give people the impression that you don't want anything to do with them, or that you don't like them, or whatever, you know. So it's kind of saying, if you're wanting to kind of pass through that particular gateway with somebody else, you're wanting to sort of utilise the moment, take the opportunity to come together, right? It's this rune, the shape of this rune, and then these two, similarity there, like to bring, to like come together with somebody. Some kind of action has to be taken. I didn't talk about why I thought this was the fifth house. I've been doing a series of drawings for each astrological house, and the most recent one I did was the fifth, and it looked like a horse's head. So that was where I was getting fifth house from. Because there is something quite kind of light-hearted about this, in a sense. I mean, it could just be really lovely. If like two people like each other and they meet, or they're in a situation where they're alone, but then they're both kind of pretending that they aren't buzzed to fuck about that. Do you know, she shouldn't like just play it cool. I think it's saying like, it's kind of urging some movement because there's like this much bigger picture. There's a much bigger picture. There's a lot more going on, but there's a particular moment where there is an opportunity to just kind of let the awe into the situation, to remove the cloak of pretense and just kind of, because that's taking an action, isn't it? To just not pretend that you're not kind of really really kind of switched on and switched into a connection with somebody. You know, remove that. Just helpful, right? It doesn't have to be like absolutely in awe of somebody, but it could just mean like, show them that you like them, you know. Show them that you like them in some way. Or maybe it's saying that they will, right? Maybe it's saying like they will eventually stop playing it cool. All right, quite long again, but I hope that's made some kind of sense. Peace. Bye-bye.